This is the tale of how I fell in love with this little thing. It's my favorite form of catharsis and therapy. I don't know how to confirm this empirically, but I like to think it's made me a better kisser. It's not really a typical instrument. I mean, you never really hear anyone say, oh yeah, my parents forced me to learn harmonica in 3rd grade. I dropped it when I was in high school. I didn't have time for it anymore. You have to want to learn how to play it. And it's really versatile. I mean, it's in every genre, in blues and folk and country, obviously, but also in rock and even classical and pop. Although, let's be real, I have really mixed feelings about timbre. And it's made me a Wellesley first of my own. I'm the Wellesley Jazz Program's very first harmonica player. And thank you. It's something I'm really proud of, and I know what you're probably thinking, is that you probably don't necessarily take it very seriously as an instrument, and neither did I when I was younger. I mean, think about when you typically hear it in, like, cartoons. Someone is either in prison, a hobo, or a cowboy. And whenever I heard it when I was younger, it just seemed to be an instrument for bad situations. Not just that, but a comedic prop for those situations. And it didn't seem like a legitimate instrument, and that just wasn't a good first impression. But all those expectations got reversed when I discovered Bob Dylan in 7th grade. I wrote my comment essay about this. It gives me so many happy feelings. And I mean, it's not like Bob Dylan's an excellent harmonica player either. I mean, his magnum opus is Like a Rolling Stone, and it has literally the easiest harmonica solo of all time. It's just like, that's it. That's all it is. But it's like a genius songwriter is still a genius songwriter, and he really inspired me. And as I went further, looking into his influences and really unfolding like blues and folk and real, actual country, it made me have this eureka moment that it is an instrument that can add emotional power and rawness and passion to a song, and I had no right to consider it lesser than any other instrument. And in fact, it just fascinated me. But I wasn't quite ready to, pick it up and learn it yet. There was a certain disconnect I was feeling. I mean, here I am, this 13-year-old white girl living in West Lynn, Oregon, which the rest of the Portland Metro has unfortunately nicknamed White Lynn. It's awful. I'm living this very middle-class existence in this affluent suburb in one of the most comfortable metro areas in the nation. What right did I have to sing the blues? Well, I finally figured it out once I found a video on YouTube of a woman playing harmonica. This was completely new to me. I was on YouTube looking up, blues harmonica players, and I found this woman named Christelle Berthin. She's French. She's been on YouTube, I think, as long as YouTube has been a thing. And the video in question was it was just her. No effects, no backing track. She wasn't with a band. No mic except for the one in her iMac, and she played this, she was improvising this thing, and she started this kind of simple riff, and it kind of went like this. And then she just starts wailing, and she said, thank you. She just starts wailing and improvising, and it's like the best thing I've ever heard. And this light bulb goes off. I'm just thinking, she's so good at that. She is so good at that. And I mean, there was this weird teenager logic thing going on of there are things I've seen women do, so those must be things women do. There are things I've seen men do, so those must be things that men do. And now I've seen a woman do this, so it must be a thing that both men and women can do. And I did have a bad, weird false dichotomy about gender going on in my head at the time. But I think it also speaks to how important it is to feel represented, to see someone who looks like you doing something that you want to do. And it really helped me put the pieces together to help me explain why I did have a right to sing the blues. I had the blues about class struggle, being middle class in an upper class town, living paycheck to paycheck. I had the blues about privilege, the privilege I have as a white person, and why I was so frustrated because I don't deserve it. The privilege I don't have because I'm a woman and an atheist, and how I'd have to work really hard to overcome that. That's frustrating. I had the blues about God, about being a human on the planet Earth. I had to let it all out. I mean, what can I say? Some people go through an emo phase or a goth phase in middle school, and they're like, no one understands me, I have so many feelings. I went through a blues phase, and it isn't even over yet. So throughout high school, I had a harmonica with me at all times, in case the moment strikes. It rarely ever did, but it was fun. I mean, my senior year of high school, I was in the pit orchestra for Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, playing along with What Else, the cowboy song. It was hokey as hell, but it was fun. But I always got jokes about it. Like, one of my best friends, he had this joke of like, well, clearly you're on death row because you shot a man in insert city here just to watch him die. So that's one of our inside jokes. I didn't really like it. But then I'd come here. And one of the first impressions I had was like, I play Love Me Do with Molly Krawitz at the variety show. And I'm not getting jokes from anyone, no sarcasm, just praise from my fellow first years. And I have no idea how to like adequately thank them for that. But then the real moment of serendipity was when the music department had desks out in front of the Lulu dining hall. And I had this total extrovert moment, and I'm talking to them, and I'm like, oh yeah, I play guitar and harmonica, it's just a thing. And then Leo, the guy who would direct the jazz club I would later be in, is like, you should talk to Cersei. She's in charge of the jazz program, and you can audition and jam for us, and it'll be fun. And it was, and I was just awestruck. Like, I never thought that... Yeah, I knew I would love Wellesley, but I never knew it would let me embrace so thoroughly this thing that I thought was divorced from anything important I wanted to do with my life. But that's what I've learned, is that it is important. It's helped me feel more in touch with my humanity and the notions that I actually can be an artist. So that's my big takeaway, is that it can sound like it's meant for the prairie, it can sound like it's meant for the jailhouse, but now I play it and I feel like it's meant to be me. Thank you.